right, for everyone that watched that chaos, we're ready to get started. Welcome. Thanks for taking the time to come to our session. I'm Lisa Garland. I'm from the Microsoft Endpoint Management team. I focus on Intune, and I'm from the New England Research and Development Center, where we have a large Intune development group.
My name is Per Larsen. I'm from the Intune team, as well as Lisa. I'm in the Intune CAT team, where we're going out to help customers deploy and remove blockers with big customers.
And I'm Terry Kirkwood. I'm the design manager for Intune. I'm based out of the Redmond office.
So we came from 3 different destinations to deliver this message to you all today. The productivity experience in M365 is the best experience in the industry. This is an area we continue to invest in. We're committed to giving your end users the best experiences. We have met with a number of end users. We continue to listen to them. We've met with you, our customers, and IT admins in order to understand what are the experiences that the end users are really looking after. We continue to hear that they expect to have a native experience to the platform they've chosen. So the experience that they expect on Windows is not the experience they expect on iOS, Mac, or Android. These are a set of principles that we've established as we continue to invest in delivering the best experiences across platforms. We want to meet the customers, the end users, where they are most comfortable being productive and getting their work done. These are the 3 main takeaways that we want you to have after this session. The thing that we want to make sure is that as we go through a number of demos today, you see how we're aligning and bringing the experiences together across the M365 productivity tools. We will continue to invest in those areas. We're hoping that with the demos that we show you today, you'll go back and you'll try these out. We have been configuring and customizing the experiences so that for the endpoint that your end user chooses, they will have the same look and feel as the colleague of theirs that chooses another M365 endpoint. So let's get started. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to do a couple of demos, specifically on the shared device experience for Android. We'll show the managed home screen, how you can configure it, and how your end users will get the best experience for that dedicated scenario. We'll show the configuration settings we can deploy to shared Windows devices. Some of those configuration settings you can also apply to the general users on Windows. And we'll also take the time to show you how we're aligning web app experiences across M365 endpoints. So the managed home screen on the Android dedicated devices has been out just slightly over a year. Before we get into it, I want to just pause for a minute. We continue to meet with customers that are surprised to hear about all of the different Android management scenarios we support. So I wanted to call out specifically on personal devices. On Android, we support Intune app protection policies, and we support Android Enterprise Work Profile. If you're looking to protect the corporate data on your device, then we recommend the Intune app protection policy. If you're looking to apply Wi-Fi inserts on the device, we recommend Android Enterprise Work Profile. Today, we're going to look at more of the company-owned, the corporate scenarios. So we recently released the Android Enterprise Fully Managed scenario, and we're going to talk about the managed home screen as you configure it with the Android Enterprise Dedicated scenario. Here you can see in Intune shared device experience configured with the managed home screen. You can configure the dedicated device experience for single app or multi-app. If you're using the managed home screen, it's a multi-app configuration. In the last year, we've been working on the managed home screen year plus. We've had huge success and adoption from customers across industries. We continue to learn from the customers how they're using this dedicated scenario, how they'd like to leverage the managed home screen. We've heard about how they prefer to secure the data, they want more troubleshooting, and from an end user perspective, the importance of them being able to complete that task worker scenario without any interruption and being able to get help quickly if they need it so they can get back on task. I'm going to hand it over to Per, and he's going to talk about the use cases and then demo the IT admin configuration.
Yep. One of the use cases we have is when we want to lock down the device. We have a multiple app use where we are deploying the managed home screen. We are deploying other apps. We are configuring it, how the end users have to be working. So we can also configure stuff so the end user can configure some of themselves. One of them is Wi-Fi, connecting to Bluetooth, enable flashlight, and so on. And then we will let the IT pro actually exiting this kiosk mode, where we with a simple code, and we will show that in the demo in a while. So for the managed home screen, it is an Android Enterprise feature because it's a dedicated device. It is this. The managed home screen is set up in the device configuration space inside Intune. If we want something that is more special, then we can use the configuration designer. And if we, for example, want to arrange the icons, you saw the picture that Lisa was showing earlier, we can actually rearrange all the icons on the device for the end user. So we do that with a JSON file, and I will show that in a demo in a bit. We have this JSON file. We have the app ordering enabled. We have some value string where we set up how many rows and how many columns we want the app to be showed on the device. And we need to do that inside the JSON because we don't have that in the UI at the moment. So for the demo, I will. This is our new Microsoft Endpoint Manager admin console. So for this one, I will start to create some apps. We need some different apps when we're deploying to the devices. So I will take an app. To start with, I will go down to Android in this case. I will look at some apps I have created before. As you can see, when I search for example, Samsung, I have the Samsung dialer. I have the Samsung messaging app. So when I go into the Samsung dialer and look at the properties, you can see we have an Android Enterprise System app. That is something that we released a couple of months ago, and it's quite important in these kind of dedicated scenarios. So when we create it, we need a name. I used Samsung dialer and the publisher Samsung, and then I find the package name and actually putting inside this app, and then I can deploy it to the managed home screen afterwards. So we also have other apps that we can deploy. So we want to deploy the managed home screen. So I will go into the apps and select Manage Google Play. Going in here, we are searching directly into the Google Store. So I will search for Managed Home Screen. As you can see, I have already got it as an approved app. It needs to be an approved app inside the Google Store to actually get it into Intune. So we have done that. Then the team has also created the private apps. That is the line of business app we can deploy. And we have the web apps. We're also deploying a web app to the managed home screen today. We have our Alpine Ski House status. And if we look at it, we have the title of the app. We have the URL. This is not a real URL using for this app. And then we can put in a custom icon that we can use, and afterwards we can go in and edit it and redeploy it to the end user's device. One of the things that's actually quite cool about the managed Google Play being integrated directly into Intune is that this is not normal the tenant I'm working in. So if it has been, for example, Apple VPP, I need the Apple's login. I don't need the managed Google Play login because it's integrated in Intune, so I can just go in here and pick the apps without knowing the the account name and password. So going back to what we want to show is the managed home screen. So we need to create a profile. The profile is again under Android. And if you see in our new console, when we're going into the Android blade, we are only showing Android devices in here. And looking at the configuration profile, I have already created one. So we had the platform Android Enterprise device restriction. So when going into the settings, we have our dedicated device. We have set it up as a multiple app. We have deployed the apps to it. We have the Microsoft Edge. We have the Samsung dialer that I showed you before, and we have the ski lift. We also have the warehouse app. Lisa will show that on the device in a minute. So we have a virtual home button that is floating. That is if the end user is into an app where they cannot go back because the back button is blocked on this device, then they can still go to the home and go back to the screen. We are entering the leave kiosk mode. It's enabled, putting in a simple password so we can actually remember it for the demo. We are setting a background up that just needs to be in a public place so the device can actually get it without any kind of authentication. In this demo, we are enabling Wi-Fi connectivity and flashlight. The flashlight we had companies asking for. So when they're going out, for example, a package delivery, they're going out to a company, they need some light on their phone. They have the Maps app on it. They're going out at night. They need to find the key and the door, and there's no light in there. And previously, it was not possible to turn on the light on the phone, but we have that now. We can also configure other settings, for example, application, how it's getting auto-updated. I've set this one to always. So that is the basic settings on what we can do on the managed home screen. If we want something that is a little more advanced and it's not in the UI yet, we can use our app configuration policy. So if I'm going into the apps plate and down to application configuration policy, I will create a new one called managed home screen. So I will select the enrollment type, it's managed device. Again, I will select the platform, that is Android. And I need to associate this with an app so I can configure it. So I will search for the managed home screen. Then I got a new menu saying configuration settings. Inside the configuration settings, I have two options. As I talked about in the slide deck, we have the configuration designer and we have the JSON data. So when we're going into the configuration designer, we click add. It's automatically populated all the settings that we have in there. So I just want to add one setting to this one that is not in the default. That is show device info settings. So I will add that to the policy and click add. Of course, I will always take the policy and apply it to a group of devices. There's no user on these devices, so we do it group-based, based on the devices. We also have the managed home screen JSON file, and that is where it's getting a little more interesting, especially when we want to do something that is so customized that we want to show you. So we have the configuration settings, and we have the JSON. I'm just going into another editor. It's way easier to actually see. So the first thing we need, that is to set the product ID. We have the app ordering enabled. That is something that we need to have. That is a requirement to do this kind of ordering. We have the grid size, where we're setting rows and columns, and the lock home screen. Then we are actually setting up a widget so we can show the time and the weather on the managed home screen. And at last, we want to arrange all the apps in a specific order. So if I'm going down here, you can see here I have the Android dialer. That was the one that we created before. We are arranging it, and we are setting in a value for the position 13. So we are going 1, 2, 3, 4, and next row 4, 5, 6. So, and then we have the Maps app that we have put in 14. So that should be right next to the dialer on the device. So Lisa will show you how the end user experience is now.
Perfect. Thanks, Per. So you can see here that on this Android device, we've configured it for the dedicated scenario with the managed home screen. So I want to call out that at the top, we have the widget configured that has the time and the weather. Notice the app ordering that Per just talked about. We have the dialer next to the Maps app, which is what Per was suggesting when he configured it in the JSON editor. If you scroll down from the top, you will see that we've configured 3 controls. The first one is so that the end user could configure Wi-Fi. And the second is to Per's comment. We had a high demand and request for the flashlight, and that was available a month or 2 ago. The other thing is that the end user can get to device information. So if I go back, you'll see that we have the floating home screen. You can configure it to be floating. That's what Per was showing you. And then we also have the iFrame web app that he configured, the Alpine Ski House. We also have the Maps app, which happens to have a back button. But if I launch the Dynamics app, which is needed for the day-to-day business, there is no back button, so I would hit the floating button, home button, so that it would go back to. The other thing that we have is you can see that the dialer is configured, and I have a back button. So if I need to troubleshoot, I need to hit the back button 15 times in order to get in the troubleshooting mode. And you can launch and see the device config. Bad part is I'll have to get out of here. You can see when the last time the device policy was applied and any information about configuration. I'm going back. Bad news is I'll have to hit back 15 more times. You can also see that you can exit kiosk. When you exit kiosk mode from the manage home screen, you have to type in your PIN. And now I can see the device and all the apps that are on the device. So if I want to get back into the manage home screen mode, I launch the manage home screen app. So one of the things that I just wanted to reiterate that Per was suggesting is that there are a number of configuration settings being added to app config, and then we're moving them into device config UX that Per was just demonstrating. I think that's it, right? Just want to close out that there's been high adoption with the managed home screen and the dedicated scenario. There's a number of settings that have been added. We're continuing to partner with various customers to understand their requirements and how we can add additional settings. Switch gears and show some configuration on Windows Shared Device Multi-User. So one of the things we want to call out is that the end user experience is completely dependent on how the device is configured in some cases. In most cases, we find that the device configuration completely impacts the end user's productivity. What we wanted to show today is there's a number of Windows configuration settings. One, to demonstrate some that you may not be aware of, or if you're aware of them, how you can configure them so that the end user has a better experience, both in a shared device experience, but also when they're globally located and doing different tasks. So one of the things that we really want to demonstrate today is that end users can have a much faster experience when they're logging into the device, depending on how the device is configured. And one of the things that we hear is that the end users, if the device isn't configured and they don't have that first launch experience, or they don't feel, they start to feel like there's not value. Research that we've done is showing that if they feel like the device is configured properly for them, they're having a good experience, and they feel valued by their companies. Brad mentioned this in his talk yesterday, and this is something that we've been really dialing into from a user research perspective. And I'm going to hand it off to Per. He's going to go do the config settings again.
When we do this shared multi-user device, there's also other settings that may be good to set on the device. One of them can be Windows Defender configuration. That can be Windows Update, Windows branding, deploying desktop wallpaper, so we have the same experience on the Android we showed you before, and on the Windows we will show you in a bit. We will also create a start layout that is not that new. But we really want to take it with us to show the good user experience, where we are only configuring part of the start layout and leaving the rest for the end user. Then we have preferred Azure 80 tenant domain. That is something that came out a couple of Windows versions ago. It makes a lot of sense on an Azure 80 joint device. Previously, we had to log in with a full qualified domain name. And on a domain joint device, previously you just got logged in with your username, and now we can do the same on an Azure 80 joint device. Then we have default app association. We have that with us today because we want to deploy the new Edge browser. But in the meantime, we also want to point the end user to the new Edge browser and not using the old one. So we are changing stuff for the end user so they know where to go. So we are helping the end user instead of doing constraints. If you have any security policies at all that you want to deploy to the device, you can also do that. So this is not a complete list. You can just build on it what your scenarios is actually needing. So this is a piece of the start menu layout. As you can see in the bottom, there's only specific groups. So when we're using this tag, we are only covering and configuring special groups inside the start layout. And when we're delivering the default app layout, we're also using an XML file. This XML file is currently up on our documentation. You could also change, for example, PDF files to be on looking at the new Adobe Reader, or doing Adobe Reader, or doing the new browser as well. So let's step into demo mode so you can actually see how to configure stuff. So we should be on the right device. So again, I'm going into the device in the new portal we have. I will go into Windows. As you can see, I'm only seeing Windows devices here. And when I click on device configuration policies, I have a set of policies, and I can only see the policy type that is actually restricted to Windows. So I will create a new one, multi-user. And I will select the platform, Windows 10 and later. In the profile type, we have many different profile types for different settings that we want to apply to the device. The one we want in this case is the shared multi-user device. So the first thing we need to do is to get it enabled. So we will enable it. In this case, I will not do anything about the guest account, but account management. I maybe want to do that on a shared device with multiple users logging in. We also want it to be able to clean itself up. So we are setting a threshold. In this case, we're setting a threshold on how low can the disk space actually go. So we will set that to 20%. So it will start deleting Windows profiles after when it hits the 20% disk space. And it will stop again when we get to the 40. Then we have the local storage. We have the options to enable or disable it. That is something on a shared device you need to figure out what is actually matching your needs. So in this case, I will just enable it. If I push it to disable, the end user is not allowed to see anything on the C drive at all. So we have the power policy. When we deploy the power policy, it's a default set of power settings that is in this policy. It will create the best battery lifetime for the device. It will create the best performance. So in a balanced. And then we have the fast sign-in. We really want this end user experience to be as best as possible. And Lisa will show that in the demo in a bit. So I set that to enable. This device that we are demoing it on later, we have deployed with Autopilot. So all our policies is also assigned to the same Autopilot group. So everything is a match. So this was the multi-user policy, but we also want to configure other stuff on the Windows device. So I'm going back, creating a new policy, device restriction. And I got it Ignite 2019-1. So the platform will also be Windows 10 and later. And in this case, we still have the same options, but I will choose device restriction. And if you look at it, we have a lot of device restrictions in here. None of it is not always restriction, but also things that can help the end user. So for example, if we're going down to personalization, we can put in a link to a picture that will be displayed on the background on the device. We have our start menu down here. I just have to click OK and start. We just select the start layout that we have created on another device, either by hand or exported it from an already existing device. So when I put it in here, we can see what I was showing in the PowerPoint. We have the only specified groups. We have Excel, we have Outlook, and we have the Office Hub, Word, and other apps. So when we go to our password section, we have the preferred Azure AD tenant domain. So when Lisa is logging in as Jill on the device in a bit, she can just log in as Jill and doesn't need to remember the rest of the domain name. And in our demo scenarios, it's not that good. Alpine skihouse.onmicrosoft.com. So it's quite long for the end user to actually remember. There is companies that has long domain names, so it will be a bad user experience for the end user if they need to remember it all. So we want to create it. So now we have created 2 policies, but we are not done. We also want to have some apps. So one of the apps that I want to deploy is a Windows app. I will select Add. So as you can see in here, we have our first-party Office 365 app. We also have our Microsoft Edge, and then we have Win32 apps. So in this case, I just want to deploy the new Edge browser. So Edge, Beta, Ignite. I need to put in a description. So when I go to Apps Settings, I have the availability to choose the channels. Right now we only have 2, that is Beta and Dev. So I will choose Beta. And then I will select Add. Now I will go back to our device configuration. On the device configuration, I've already created a policy for the default Edge browser. As you can see here again, the platform is Windows 10. We have a profile type called custom. So when I going into settings, the custom profile we can use when it's not in the Intune UI, and in this case it's not. So I will select this one. We have the name of the policy. We have the OMA settings that needs to be correct. It is case sensitive. We have the data type, that is string. And compared to the PowerPoint I showed you before, I showed an XML file. We cannot deploy the XML content, so we actually need to change the XML content and make it into a base 64. So I've done that and put it in here. And now we're ready to deploy it to the end user or to the devices. So maybe you also want to configure the new Edge browser. So again, I will go into configuration policy. I already had a Edge policy. As you can see up here, that is an administrative template policy. That is a little bit different from the other policies that we have in Intune. So when I'm going into settings, I have some different category types. This is just like the GPO you have in a local domain. So we can select all products, we can select Windows, we can select Office, or Edge version. So we're selecting Edge version. We have 4 policies configured. I will dive into these 3. The first one, we are deciding what app extension ID do we want us on our browser. I have allowed these 3. One of them is the Teams extension, and another one is the Office 365. So when I'm going into control extension, I can deploy these extensions so the end user don't have to do it. I can do it from the web-based, from the Microsoft, or I can do it from the Google Store. And for security reason, I don't want the end user to be able to install any other extensions. So I just put in a star so the end user cannot install anymore. So how does this look from an end user perspective, Lisa?
Okay. Gotta go nice and slow. So Jill Craft, before I log in on the Danish keyboard with the password, I can reset the password here. And then let me log in and let's see how quickly. Going really slow, folks. I did it. It's the first time I've done it the first time. Okay, you can see how quick Jill logged in. I want to point out that on the theme of customization, you can see the custom branding that is on the device for Jill. I want to start with the start menu layout. You can see based on what Per showed you from configuration, the app tiles are configured in 2 groups. And Jill is not able to move these app tiles out of these groups, and she's not able to add these groups. But she is able to pin additional apps to the start menu and remove them. The other thing that you'll notice based on the configuration that Per showed you is there is no OneDrive here. If she launches Office, you'll see that she has all of the docs and everything she needs here. Also notice from if you launch the Edge beta that was configured, you'll notice the personalization that's here for Jill. So she sees that, and the 2 extensions that were deployed to the Edge browser are also here. I think one other thing, Per, we talked about, maybe we have a couple minutes. So Per kept telling me that if a new user logged into this device, it would be just as fast. So since I know Per hasn't logged into this device, I'm going to ask him to show you how fast it really is.
Sure. So I will log out as Jill. I
That's
will.
right. Sorry, I should have logged you out.
And then I will actually try to log in as myself, and I've not done that before. At least not on this device. So that is how fast you log in on a multi-user device that is shared.
If that didn't work, Per might not have been happy with me after this.
What is actually happening in the background? We're cheating a little bit. So we're actually using the same profile. And that is also okay because it's a shared device. We don't need to customize the profile unless we're doing it by policies. So this is the reason why it's going so fast. So we tried to take just 2 slices. What have we actually delivered on Windows 10 management from Intune, starting from January this year, where we released the ADMX template. When we, in July, put in more Office, Windows, and OneDrive settings, to this last release of Intune, where we put in the new Edge as a native app that you can deploy directly into Intune. So you can see we are heavily invested in Intune from the Microsoft side.
Okay, this brings us to the last part of our demos. I'm excited to share with you some of the effort that's been happening across the Microsoft 365 endpoints to align web app experiences. So Office, Azure, AAD, My Apps, and Intune have been collaborating together to make sure that as you continue to add more and more web apps to your catalogs, that your end users will see the same web app experience across these endpoints on M365. Some of the things I want to call out are the branding will be the same across the 3 endpoints. The web apps that are displayed or that are sourced from AAD My Apps will be presented in office.com and also on the Intune Company Portal website. A couple of things that we've been hearing from customers, specifically around the increased number of web apps that they're having in their catalogs, is really making sure that the end users can discover these web apps quickly. To my earlier point in principle, end users are comfortable being productive in specific sites or tools. And so even though we think we can tell them to go to a specific place to acquire an app, they have behavior that they've developed based on their productivity, and the research shows that they will go to where they're most productive. So the effort that we've put here is that they can have easy access, and they'll have that personalized experience across the different M365 endpoints. One of the things I'm excited to share, and they were actively working on, last year at Ignite, I was able to talk about the customization and branding blade we have in the Microsoft Endpoint Manager admin experience. We've been able to leverage that for customizing branding and logos across the Intune company portals, but we're across platforms. But we're also continuing to innovate here for customization across the end user experience, notifications, but also specifically here around the application web apps. We're going to be adding soon, at the bottom you'll see the buttons where you can actually configure it so that you'll allow the AAD web apps to flow into the Intune company portal experiences and Office Online apps as well. So I'm going to hand it off to Terry, and he'll actually demo what this looks like from the end user experiences.
All right, are we good? All right, thank you everyone for the folks that stuck around. We're almost there. I'm just gonna take a quick minute to show you how we light up the end user experience for web apps across the M365 suite of products. And so let's jump right into it by starting off with the newly publicly announced My Apps portal by Azure Active Directory. And so I just want to point out 3 quick things here. Lisa alluded to the fact that we had done some work around bringing the branding coming through. And so you can see the logo, and then this represents the branding color for our Alpine Ski House. And so This is a great experience for your end users because it gives them a sense of confidence when they come to this portal. They know that they are going to be launching an app that is safe and secure. The second point that I wanted to bring up is because this is being managed by Azure Active Directory, when they launch a web app from this portal, we can take advantage of single sign-on and multi-factor authentication, which means that we have streamlined the productivity even further by minimizing any additional authentication that they need to go through. And then the other point that Lisa brought up was here we have the apps that have been targeted to Jill specifically, but they've been targeted in a way so that they're nice and organized through these filters. So in this case, under the resort resources, you can see her ski lift status, and then she's got other apps that show up in other filters. And if Jill wants to see all her apps, all her web apps, then she can see all of them come through in the all apps filter. And so those are just some examples of the things that how web apps show up in this portal. In the next portal, we're going to move over to office.com. And so this is another way that Jill might want to launch or discover and launch her web apps. And so on the office.com, what you'll notice is that the branding comes through again on the top. So that's a safe and secure way of launching web apps. And then you'll see the same segmentation and the same categorization and the same filtering for the web apps that she saw in her Azure Active Directory My Apps portal. They come through on the office.com site. So there's the ski lift status app again. And then finally, this is the app that my team works on. So we're part of the Intune team. And so this is the Intune company portal website. And so again, you will find that the ski lift status, which is a web app that was published through Azure Active Directory, is coming through on the Intune company portal website. And so that's how we're allowing Jill to discover and launch web apps in the place that she is most comfortable working in. A couple other points that I'll make here before I hand it back over to Lisa is this is the Intune company portal, and so this is the area where we have done a lot of work in terms of bringing the branding through. And my team is constantly in the process of redesigning the apps so that I think we've updated a lot of work on the information architecture, the search and the filtering so that it's much easier for Jill to discover the web apps that she's looking for when she's trying to get her work done. Okay, let's see. Let's switch back. Yep, we can go. Oh, thanks. So what I tried to show you all was how Jill could discover and launch web apps across the M365 apps. It's important for you to know that specifically with Intune, with the use of Edge, Jill can also discover and launch all her web apps across all the different platforms that she prefers to work in. So whether it's an iOS device, an Android device, a Mac or a Windows device, then Jill will be able to find and discover those apps as well. And then finally, I just want to close out with a quick plug. So all the great design work that you saw here, this can't get done without input and feedback from our customers, so folks just like you. And so what I'm hoping to do is invite you to go ahead and visit this website, or you can take a picture of the QR code. And what will happen is you'll get signed up for our portal, and that will give you an opportunity to participate in user research from surveys to interviews to even usability studies. We really, really need you to help us in this process. My team, my designers and my engineers can't do their job well unless they get input and feedback from you all. So that's my invitation to you. And so I'll hand it back over to Lisa and she can wrap up.
Just really quick, there was a lot of content we shared here today, but there's so much more that I wish we could talk about. There's a number of sessions that are happening across both the Microsoft Endpoint Manager team, but also Azure Active Directory and Office. So I'd like to call out a couple of them that I'd recommend specifically. Today we talked about Windows and Android. The iOS session is tomorrow at 12:45. I highly recommend that. And then we also have tomorrow the session on the Azure Active Directory My Apps. There's a deep dive into that. And then we'll also have the deep dive into the Android management session tomorrow afternoon at the same time that our session was at today. And finally, I think it's important to kind of align all across platforms. There's a session on Thursday for Office.com, and you can kind of see how the information is flowing from Azure Active Directory into Office.com as well. Thanks again. We're going down to the booth, so for folks who have questions and want to dive into the content deeper, please join us at the booth.
Yeah.